All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good week. This is the weekly rant for what was the date? Two maybe. Running behind this week. Super busy. A lot of things outside of the house going on. Good thing we're looking at buying houses and stuff. So found a few that are actually going to be good for the shop. Actually getting a bigger shop, more room. The print room currently is like 11 by 11 or 10 by 11. Looking at a couple of houses where it's 13 by 15, 16 by 14 for that room. So that'll allow me to actually put racks in, get everything set up to where I can actually dive in and go to 15 to 20 printers. Then test print some stuff quicker without having to worry about slowing any of the production for orders and stuff down. Orders going really well. Can't appreciate you guys enough for everything y'all do. Greatly appreciated and excited. I love doing this. I probably say it every video. You guys probably get tired of me saying it, but I love doing this. So again, thanks for everything. Not a ton of rants this week. The biggest thing there on the Facebook page, uh, be respectful. 99% of everybody is. You get one that's an oddball every once in a while. Just let everybody know that watches it. I won't deal with it. You'll be gone in a heartbeat. Just be respectful. There's different ways to voice your opinion than being an arse. So if it happens, just you won't see your name or any of your posts or anything. You'll be gone. I think the biggest thing I'm trying to do is add to the portfolio with some positive things. Couple things tried to add. The files were cheap, got permission to sell them. And some of them just aren't worth the resin, that you're putting into it. So sorry, there's noise outside, or I don't know what's going on. But also, really, what I feel we're going to add some quality files. Been granted permission for some really cool stuff. One, not only I think you guys saw the CAD engine that was just recently added to the store. A couple more have popped up. Already been told, that I'm going by what the designer calls the file. I am not that into what type of diesel engines these are. That's where your guys' help will come in. I know there's a couple of them that have been called out as not being what they're supposed to, and that's fine. I'm still going to go out and print them. If you guys give me the correct name, I'll put them out that way, and it's not a problem. So I am working on an 850 Holmes right now. Trying to get that done myself. Also working on a couple chassis still. Hope you guys will. That should finish up here quick. One thing I'm learning: you are either a printer or you are a designer. I don't have a ton of time to do both throughout the day. So, do a little bit here and there, a little bit of help from Chat GPT. I'm not going to lie. That's one of the easiest ways to help me out, especially while I'm still trying to learn all this. So that's helping out quite a bit. Been told no on a couple really cool projects. Is what it is. That's why I'm going back over to the trying to get some help on the design side for it. I had a request for some help on a really cool project. It was for a Ford super van. I never really knew much about them. I can't remember the name of the van. Oh, it's a transit van, a Ford transit van. And then Ford turns one into a super van with every new generation that comes out. guys, these things are freaking awesome. Um, they've monster engines in them, dude. They're just cool. And had a request for one and been told no on the bodies twice now. So that might be something that I dive into and try and design myself, just to help the guy out. But if any of you guys have seen anything out there on it's the early transit van, like from the '60s and '70s. That body style. It's a super van MK1. If you guys get a chance to go out and do some research on it, man, do it. These things are awesome. Trying to think what else is going on. Not a ton. Work. Trying to get all this done. Like I said, we've been going out looking at houses at night. So super busy with all of that. Big thing. I am going to throw my hat in the ring here at JaxCon coming up this Saturday. I'm going to put the 261 in that I did. I am working on a little stake bed for it now. It was from the old Ford Coca-Cola truck. That's where the actual frame came from. So I'm going to try and put that stake bed on there. I'm working on some stuff now. I am not a show builder. Man, I used to super detail models years and years ago. Did my NASCAR kits, did my truck kits, super detailed them, put everything in that I could. But I was only building 3 to 4 models a year, and it got to be such a burden having one or two on the workbench at a time. If I can move my camera and you guys see the bench behind me, it's a freaking mess. The cracker box is back on there. I'm not going to get it finished in time. I kind of wanted to get that done. I've had to change the exhaust a couple times. So that'll have to wait. I know there's some shows around the area coming up. But I have a soft top Dragon Wagon that I printed the cab and soft top and everything from a set of files from an individual. I cannot remember. I printed it years ago. This thing's been actually survived the move from Illinois down to here, and then here from the apartment to the house. Hopefully it survives the move from house to house. But so those two are going to go in for sure. I don't know if I'm going to put the 281, 351 in or not. I do have, I think I said it last time, I have Michael Whitman little mini diorama with him standing outside of his tank there just before him and his crew were killed. It's kind of like a final meeting little deal, and it's just on a little plaque base with roll out grass. So I mean, it's nothing major. I think the tank looks pretty cool. Has fuel tracks on it, metal tracks, good detail. So used to love building and painting the World War II stuff. The research that you go into on the World War II side is really can be really in depth, because you can buy 50 of the same tank and build 50 of the same tank, but each one's going to be a little different because they were in a different theater, they were in a different month in that theater, different commanders, Patton's tanks were a little bit different than Abrams, and then they started to have the 75 millimeter guns come in. So big difference in tanks over a matter of time. So used to always love doing the research on the World War II stuff. So probably those two. I do have to print a grill for the front of that Dragon Wagon, or it's just going to go without it. The soft top, it's never really fit right, so it'll probably get displayed off to the side. I'll bring that in next when I finish this bed for the 261. I have an International cab over 4070 that has the drop deck and the big bulldozer on it. Bulldozer's weathered out. The flatbed is the drop deck's weathered out. The fire truck cab itself, everything's painted red with LA County Fire decals on it. That might go. There was a couple other things I wanted to put in. I did a little 32 hot rod, little 32 Ford hot rod with an engine from Scale Speed Garage, beer barrels from Scale Speed, seats and everything. So that was really done up for Scale Speed Garage. I think I actually entered it in Scale Speed's build up a couple years ago. So that'll probably go. Again, these aren't show quality builds. I'm just going to go to get out there. Um, the the 261 and the 381, 351 will have my shop card by it. So will the Dragon Wagon. I have a Dragon Wagon hardtop that might go as well, just for giggles. Other than that, not much going on there. Build wise, nothing to write home about. Working on the 925, resin printed 925 from Alpha Centauri. It'll have the 36-inch high-rise sleeper on it, Aerodyne sleeper on it. It's in paint right now. Chassis is a bright yellow, and it'll have an overlay of metallic yellow, and then the cab will be orange, and probably, I don't know if I'm going to have an overlay of metallic on that one or not. I might not do the metallic on the frame if I can't do the cab in metallic. Big set of wheels for the back. Probably going to go with super singles, and some other stuff. Still haven't figured that one out yet. Again, not a ton going on. My battery just died. There we go. Again, I think the biggest thing, myself not being the designer for hardly any of the stuff that I have out in the shop now, I am trying to source stuff that everybody's asking for. I know John Shelton there in the group page helps me out with ideas, and I posted the question there on the Facebook group, asking what everybody's looking for. Some of it I already had listed, and the guys probably just didn't have access to the page or the store. So that's a good thing. And man, there's some good stuff out there that everybody's requesting. So going to try and work on some of that. Working with a designer on some stuff. We're in the middle of some talks, so hopefully that takes off and goes in a positive direction. Super excited about that if that goes. I'm not going to mention any names right now. He has some really great ideas. Has some really, really good designs right now. Just in the discussion phase of how maybe things can work. But really, really good dude. No issues with designs or anything. He has some really cool stuff out there. Has some really cool other designs. Wanted to go back over the 330, 340 Peterbilt. I will get that back out. Man, again, that was my fault. There's a lot of holes, a lot of that just wasn't ready to print. I should have done my due diligence on that one, and assumed differently that that was going to be ready to go. So again, I apologize for that. Just really, really messed that up myself. What else? I don't know, it's probably close to being it. Have some stuff that I've scaled up from 187th. I broke the fender on this already, trying to get it out, but it's a little dolly. It was just a test print. Turned out decent. There's some issues up front where the triangulation comes together. Need to smooth that out a little bit. Not a ton of detail. Again, this one was 187th scaled up. Not horrible. I like the design. I like the way it looks. Just need to do some tweaking on it, and I think that's where some chat GPT can help. Just put a little bit more detail in it once you get permission to do so, because you can't modify or do anything to these files without permission. Other than that, I'm building the CAD engine right now as we speak. Just got it off all the supports yesterday, sanding that one down. So trying to get that done. Other than that, guys, I think that's it. If anybody is going to JaxCon, drop me a line and say, hey, I'm not going as a vendor this year. I think I've already said that. Next year, that's one of the purposes of having more printers is to build up a huge thing of stock. But always remember, stock is money. You can't have a ton of money tied up in just stock. Everybody knows that. But trying to get all that worked out, and then I'd be able to hit some shows as a vendor next year. So that would be pretty cool. If you guys need anything, holler. Share, like, subscribe. Let's build this site up. All right. Anybody needs anything, holler. If not, I'll talk to y'all next week. See you.